Good morning, Brooke. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm doing well.
I got to tell you what, I love your podcast in the way that I'm a defragger. I keep a defrag journal. And when you face the question, now what? My God, I love the way that you take that what and you say, what are we going to do with this what? Where is it going to grow? Why do we need to do this? And I love the way that you work this into your show.
Wow, thank you. The idea came to me and I pitched it to iHeart and I said, this is a unifying concept. We all have these now what moments. And I'm fascinated with how people get through them, how they grow from them, learn from them, crumble and try to get back up. It, those now what moments are things that everybody can identify with.
Does this come from your writing skills in the way that you know that when you plant seeds on a page that it's going to reach a reader that you'll never meet, but yet you change their life?
I've never thought of it that way, but yes, it has a very sort of journalistic, uh, literary approach to it because I do so much research. And when you start doing research into people's actual careers and what and who they are, you can find a common thread. And I've found that writing books, that's you sort of always have to make sure that whatever the your voice is coming through in a common thread. And that's what it has felt very much like that. That's an interesting analogy.
Well, coming up with this podcast is a now what moment because now what? Because I mean these shows are going to last well beyond where we are, and people are going to be tapping into this in countries and different places on different days of the calendar.
And they're going to identify with it.
Yes,
They're going to
yes.
think about the now what moments in their lives and how they've approached them and learn from other people. All have different reactions to things, but they're our own solitary reaction and experience. But when you hear those stories from incredibly famous people, writers who you never would recognize them, we all have them, and you start thinking, oh my God, that happened to me when I was 10 or when I was 50 so these are what's been interesting for me is how willing people are to talk about these things as long as they don't feel that they're in a hot seat or they're being attacked. So I try to make it an exchange as well, not just me asking questions, but to volunteer information about myself to sort of level the playing field in a way.
Oh my God, you're right here in my notes because one of my questions was when you host an episode with creative people, how long does it take you to bring out their realism? And you just explained it. I mean, because everybody's got a realism. We've just got to get into it.
And a lot of the time that's revealing a little bit about yourself so that it's a safe environment. And doing your homework. When
Yes.
people know that you've done your homework, I mean, so many times people have said, wow, you really did your homework, because they assume, when we do these junkets most of the time, or these any kind of interviews or whatever, there's like three questions that people ask. I mean, you host these shows, nobody does the research, nobody reads the
Right.
book. And I'm, such a student, I'm underlining and reading, and I'm like a perpetual student. So when I mention something that has obviously been from research, they then say, oh, okay, she's actually interested.
Mhm.
She's done her homework, and that's respecting me. And now I'm okay. I'm here. She's not going to just ask, the three questions that a producer tells her to ask about you know, those one-liners that we've already seen in the headlines.
Mhm. What did you feel emotionally when Gina Davis admitted that this was the time that she was no longer going to be silent? I mean, because I've never thought of her as being silent, but you know what? She's making a move now.
And I identify with it so much. It's there's when she's always, to me, presented herself as a very strong
Yeah.
woman, and when you really see and you read her book and you see this sort of little girl in this vulnerability that, has that she's been able to tap into it in her roles while being strong. But for her to also talk about her size, her height.
Mhm.
I have a 6'1" daughter who's 16, excuse me, and I was always the tallest. And when you
Yeah.
sort of think about those moments where you just feel so obvious in school and you just want to blend in, those she just is such a wonderful example of it's also never too late. We have our own ways of processing things. I'm so thankful for her for her transparency, because I think it's going to help a lot of women.
Well, you're helping to teach people to be that transparent, because even when you're talking with Allie Wentworth, I mean, that's the thing. I couldn't let go of that, and it's one of those where I want to go back and I want to take notes from it, because both of you share so many things that can be used in other conversations in our personal lives.
Oh, Allie is a brilliant. I mean, she's just like my most brilliant friend, and it's funny, and the two of us together have such a good time and bantering, and but her intellect, is we've done a lot of work on ourselves. There's a lot that goes into being able to finally get to a place where you can say, this is who I am. I can't pretend to be anything else. If you don't like me, I'm working on not having my feelings hurt. It's okay. And I think that, and we're both moms, and she does a lot of, she's so open with her children and really honest with her children, and has such a wonderful relationship with them that, there's a lot to be learned from her, and her podcast as well. Go Ask Allie.
This is the type of podcast that I know that has got to make its way to arenas or small clubs, because a Now What live appearance where you're interviewing people as well as the people that are in the audience. I just think this is just the first step of a new beginning for you.
Oh my God, thank you. That is very much, I started my own company called Beginning is Now, and this is a very new beginning for me, and it's very exciting to have a new area of creativity in my life.
Absolutely. Please come back to this show anytime in the future, Brooke. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you. I hope there are more reasons.
Yes, you be brilliant, okay?
I will. You too. Thank you.